Hello, and welcome to Brand Clarity by Visions to Images, where we focus on strategy and business development for entrepreneurs at all different levels through branding and digital marketing techniques. Susie Liberatore is the founder and art director of Visions to Images Creative Services, LLC. For the last decade, she has personally been instrumental in bridging gaps between the global digital market and neighborhood locations for some of the biggest brands around. Growth is possible for even a single location with the right professional branding techniques and Susie's signature strategies of Visions to Images. Stand out from your competitors and bring your visions to life while watching your sales skyrocket. Your host for this is Susie Liberatore, owner of Visions to Images. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brand Clarity Podcast. I'm super excited today to have on the podcast. I have two wonderful guests from Authority Brands. I have Michael Hutchins and I have Chad Harrison, and both have incredible journeys throughout the franchise industry. And I thought they would be a great fit to come on this podcast and share a little bit about what they do and who they serve and how they can really help franchises, because at the end of the day, franchises need support and help, and that's what we provide. So I just kind of want to get you guys acquainted and started. So Michael, go ahead and tell me how you got into this position and into this role and how you're in the 1 hour heating and air.
Sure. Thank you. And again, for inviting Chad and I to spend some time with you and answer some questions. I love franchising. I have been franchising for over 20 years and have been in a variety of different industries, both as an individual producer and someone who has led a single and multiple teams in multiple countries simultaneously. But at its core, franchising is really the same. I enjoy working with individuals to help them realize their dream of owning a business for themselves. And, there's a lot of common denominators. Like I said, it doesn't really matter what the industry is, but, I pride myself on making sure that everyone, as they're investigating the brand that I represent, has all the information needed to make an educated and informed decision if this is the appropriate fit for them. And being an expert, in franchising and within my industries, it's also my responsibility to make sure, that this person that's inquiring about my particular brand, that this is a good fit. I know it inside and out, and they're investigating it, but to place the right person in the right opportunity so that they're set up for success. And that's what Chad and I do here at Authority Brands. Chad now is assisting 3 of our trade brands. I manage the growth of the 1 hour brand across the country, but and everyone, we have a great team here. I work with, all of the 12 brands at Authority Brands, but we take people through a 5-week discovery process, going through the initial introduction of the brand, talking with other owners to get their perspective on what a day in the life would be like. I like them to meet other senior executives on the operation side so they can see the power behind the brand, the people that are going to help them through onboarding and on an ongoing basis to meet and exceed their established goals. And then just kind of, what the handoff will be. They can always reach out to me. I'm the quarterback of this transaction until it's executed. And then they're with the operations team, but what that handoff will look like. And again, franchising, it's about setting the right expectations. I've always instructed my teams to set the proper expectations. I do that. That leads to happy franchisees. And there's, it's more than just financial happiness. It's, right. Understanding, the time commitments, all the various commitments associated with that particular opportunity. And I think, myself, I think I'm pretty good at what I do. And I think, our entire team at Authority Brands, does that with all of their respective brands and their respective franchisees. We pride ourselves on that. We have a lot of cross-pollination. I work with, my sister brands, whether it's Ben Franklin, Mr. Sparky. I have, we own the home. And, so I have someone that, they needed their HVAC needs taken care of, but they also have a swimming pool in the backyard. And, all of our brands work well together. We have a tight team. And I have owners that have 3, 4 of our brands. They're the franchisee for 3 or 4 of our brands.
Right.
Several of them running multiple brands out of a single location for the same exact customer base. So there's a lot of synergies, common denominators
Right.
within authority brands. Franchising is my passion. I'm excited and wake up every day looking forward to the next opportunity. And like I said, Chad is an integral part of the team. So I don't want to steal his thunder. So he's gonna, introduce himself and
Yes, absolutely.
and share some of his experiences.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I came up through restaurant business when I was focused, and then just made the transition over to the franchising side, and coming into Authority Brands, a solid company with solid 12 brands. As Michael said, home services is where we're looking to dominate, and we are with 1 Hour Heating and Air, solid brand, essential service, and I'm on the preliminary discussion, just ensuring that it's first of all the right discussion for the candidate coming through, if it's something they're interested in. And then I set them up with a call with Michael, and Michael, as you said, he's the quarterback, takes it from there. And yeah, it's an outstanding brand. And the executive class we have is a strong executive class. It's just a great team, as Michael said too.
Yeah, thank you. That's amazing. I love hearing the story. And yes, franchises is one of those things that I love and I adore. And, what I've learned over the years is that people always think that, okay, just because somebody's a franchise, they're not locally owned and operated, and they don't give back to the community, and they're not a part of our community, right? Like they say, oh, they're big names, but really and truthfully, there's so much more behind it. Like the owners are still the people that are giving back, and they're going to the same schools as us, et cetera, et cetera. And that's really where we developed our brand and niche down, because we knew like so many people had this stereotypic type thinking about it. And I mean, I have a few different clients who have been in the franchise industry for decades plus, and they're giving back all the time. They're supporting the community. They're doing all of these things, and they build a brand based on that. So that's kind of where we come in and help them make a difference through that and through their marketing, so that it's not so corporate-y in a sense, right? Like if we see the corporate posts going out and we don't have enough local posts going out, it's going to be tough for an audience. So what are you both most excited about as far as your jobs and in your career industry?
Chad, why don't you go first this time? And then I'll follow up.
I'm excited. It's just to work alongside with Michael. I mean, we get up probably a little earlier than most, and probably we close it a little later than most. And we love what we do. We get excited about bringing new business owners into the franchise network. And it's just a combination. Coffee and franchising is exciting. So
it is exciting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Michael.
Like I said, I enjoy, seeing someone realize their dream. I mean, everyone, we work for our paychecks and things like that. And really, I have found over the years, doing the right thing, working with your franchisees, the money takes care of itself. That's not really my passion, even though I enjoy that. I mean, that's what pays the bills and things like that. But like I said, being part of the team, I stay more involved with my franchisees than a lot of people. Just hearing the stories, and I host more local town halls, like even kind of getting engaged with like that grassroots marketing, helping people with job fairs, all different aspects, just kind of building those relationships, those long-term relationships. I do enjoy that. We have a lot of repeat business because of that, because of how we go to market, and not having someone bite off more than they can chew initially, starting off with one territory, building that up, and then adding on and growing wisely, just really coaching your franchisees, and how they should pursue this. Everyone has a different appetite for growth, but I have owners adding multiple territories, throughout the year. And then we have our new owners coming in, sharing best practices. I spearhead that. I make sure no one gets lazy, that we all keep getting together, sharing. You have new owners that have great ideas. A lot of the digital marketing, I'm older than most of the people on the team, and they have great ideas that I'm not used to that. It's not my second nature, right. But, I have a lot of kind of, ideas that they may think are relics, but they're still effective. And like collectively, it works well. So I like sharing best practices. That translates over to kind of the town halls with our franchisees. Everyone has something that they can contribute and really kind of create that family environment. I like to do it with the team. I like to do it with the franchisees, everyone growing together. I mean, I have my brand, my counterparts have their brands. Our franchisees have their own protected territory. So there's no reason. And, I like to create that type of environment where we're all kind of sharing that knowledge and growing together. And I like seeing that come to fruition. I promote it. I endorse it. I try, and Chad does as well, try to lead by example and kind of create that culture. Right. And that's enjoyable to kind of see that come to life. Those are the things that I enjoy.
Hey there, I want to interrupt this episode with a quick message. If you're listening to this podcast episode and want to learn about branding your franchise or small business, then go to brandingbridge.com. That's branding-bridge.com.
Yeah, I love it. I love that you said the family and culture. Like those are two big things. And I feel like that has to be there, right? Like no matter what, that's what kind of brings a business to life, and especially for a franchise. Love it. So what advice could you give somebody if they were looking to get into the franchise industry or any of your companies? Like what kind of advice would you give them?
Sure. I would tell them, be realistic with your budgets, understand that this is an investment and to plan wisely. And that, in the franchise disclosure documents, and every brand has one, there's an investment range. But, during your validation calls with owners, understand like what their initial investments were to get the business going, and just really, have a firm understanding of what that financial commitment is going to be. I would also advise them to be open-minded. I cannot tell you how many people I have worked with that, had their heart set on one particular industry, and it could have been for ego. It could have been for a number of different reasons. But at the end of the day, I mean, I want people to be happy in what they're doing, but this is a business decision. And there's a lot of franchise concepts out there, a lot of very good ones in different industries that you may not have, really given much attention to. Mm-hmm. And a great way to get introduced to various concepts is, you may engage with a franchise broker. This is someone who can give you insight into a variety of different industries, based on your needs. If you want to be owner operator, semi-absentee, whatever it may be, there's guaranteed to be more options available to you than you may have initially thought. So be open-minded, because I have people with 1 hour, for example, some, NASCAR pilots, someone who was in medical school, attorneys, they didn't really understand, what the business model was. They kind of had a preconceived notion, but be open-minded. There's lots of terrific opportunities out there. Participate, follow the system. I mean, this is something that I can't emphasize enough. I mean, you're basically buying an expensive GPS system from your brand. So when it's telling you to go left, don't keep going right and bouncing off of walls. You're going to save yourself a lot of time and money, aggravation. The systems are proven. 1 hour's case, it's been replicated hundreds of times across the country successfully. So follow the system. Understand your system, what it's going to take. Like I said, some models lend themselves well to owner operator only. Some, are semi-absentee, but know kind of, what you're looking for, and make sure that all those boxes are checked so that, you can really, like I said, it's about setting the proper expectations and do that. Don't feel rushed. This isn't, you're taking your money out of your bank where it's safe or wherever it may be. And this is an investment, and do your due diligence. I mean, there's no reason to drag this process on, but never feel, hurried or pressured to make a decision. You should feel comfortable. I mean, the individuals, the entrepreneurs that we work with, when it comes to signing, it's a non-event. We have gone through this process and ensured that every question's been answered, and that, like I said, they have all the information they need to make an educated and informed decision. And when you're at that point, you'll feel good, and you should be entering that owner's initial training with momentum, full of excitement, and ready to kind of move on to that next chapter in your life. So kind of embrace that. Take advantage of your resources. No one's an expert in everything. That's another great thing about franchising. You don't have to be an expert in marketing and finance and all the different aspects. You're paying royalties. Don't be shy. Utilize all those benefits and services that are available to you. You're paying for them. These people are there, working on your behalf. I do see some owners, maybe it's pride, whatever it may be, they want to figure it out themselves, but you don't have to. Again, that was another reason why you joined the franchise, is that really the roadmap is there. So take advantage of all those resources, be engaged, build relationships with other franchisees, networking. It's a great resource. People that have been there 3, 4, 5, 10 years, you can't ask your competition what they're doing to be successful, but you can rely on your franchisee network for excellent guidance and advice, and along, your franchise business consultants and the corporate staff for your brand. But, definitely be an engaged owner with your other franchisees. Those are just some of the things I think I would, that I share with our prospective owners, to set them up for success. But it'll translate to really any franchise concept out there.
Yes, I love all of it. You had so many great points. Yes. Chad, do you have anything else to add?
I think as far as what Michael was saying with like the validation, first of all, taking your time through the process, doing your due diligence, and then the validation, getting to know the current business owners, get some insight from them as well. Usually, within the network, you can talk to anybody you want to. Get an idea from somebody that's maybe 15 years down the road, multiple brands, and then someone that's maybe 2, 3 years, coming out of the gate. So definitely validation and taking your time through the process and your due diligence. Absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. And so if anybody wants to learn more, they can go to authoritybrands.com to learn more and to learn about all the different franchisers you work with, correct?
Yes. If you have, Chad, we can share or we can post the webpage, but that is our webpage, and all the brands information is on there. And you can learn more about each of the opportunities. And they differ by investment range, also maybe what territories are available, depending on where that individual lives. But if they go there, they can do some initial homework on their own and then connect with the appropriate person to learn more about each individual brand.
Awesome. Perfect. Do you have anything else you want to add?
I would look forward to working with any of, your members of your group, people that attended this chat. Chad and I really do embrace this, and we would look forward to working with anyone to investigate this opportunity.
Absolutely. Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, for listening in on today's Brand Clarity episode with Susie Liberatore. 2 things. First and foremost, please, if you liked this episode, please subscribe and leave some positive reviews. Also, don't forget to sign up for Stop Sending Your Customers to the Competition and get my insider secrets to compelling branding that converts. You can find that at branding-bridge.com. It's a free workbook for you to check out right now. All of the branding techniques and strategies that I use for my paying clients.